Hello everybody, welcome back to Somananda Tantra School channel. My name is Lisa and I'm one of the senior teachers of the school, and today I would like to share with you some thoughts about meditation. What is meditation and how to start to meditate? Meditation is quite a trend at the moment, right? There is a lot of people practicing it. There's a lot of techniques, perhaps a lot of information available about that. But I would like to bring your attention to a few things that I personally find quite important when starting your meditation practice and when choosing how to go forward. These things were helping me back in the day when I started a lot, and I think maybe they could be valuable for you as well. So stay tuned, I will be covering a few of those topics. Well, why should you meditate in the first place? What kind of benefits can you expect from this? Well, there are definitely very clear benefits on your mind and on your concentration. So let me just put it out there in a very simple and in a quick fashion, let's say, the benefits of meditation. First of all, the main practice or main result that meditation brings is that it is training your mind to concentrate and to focus. And concentration and focus is something that is benefiting you in completely every aspect of your life, not just in your spiritual practice, not just in your meditation, but when you work and when you, take care of your family, or when you read a book or whatever you do. The mind being sharp and concentrated leads to a much better quality of life. Second thing that meditation does is that it is actually rewiring the chemistry in your brain in such a way that it brings healing even to the physical body. So meditation can be a form of healing even physically as well. Thirdly, of course, meditation is the ultimate practice that leads a person towards spiritual results. Therefore, practicing meditation regularly will eventually lead you to high states of consciousness, will take you to places where you've never been mentally before, will give you knowledge which is a type of knowledge that can never be learned from books, which is experiential knowledge about the purpose of this life, where do you want to go, who are you, what is right for you in your life, where should you be going. And when you start making decisions from that point of view, a lot of things in your life become much more harmonious. All of a sudden you notice that you are much less agitated, you're much less angry, things don't take you, out of your centeredness and so on. You become much more calm and happy and content as a human being. And this, in modern world, is a huge value, I would say. So there's many more benefits to meditation. We're probably gonna have a dedicated video on that coming up soon. If you would like to hear more about actual benefits of meditation, you want us to go more in depth into it, let us know in the comments and we'll come back and do that video as well. First of all, what is meditation? You want to be practicing meditation, but do you know what it is? There is one particular approach to meditation that I often see other students or people out there having, which is perhaps not the most helpful for you. Namely, people tend to think that when you are, let's say, sitting and you close your eyes and you're doing something, then I'm meditating. Traditionally, we know that meditation, in fact, is not so much something that you do, but something that you reach as a result of doing something. So meditation is a state that you reach with your mind rather than, when I'm sitting, closing my eyes, I'm meditating. Actually, you could be doing a ton of other things and not meditating at all. A person could be, daydreaming, planning the next morning, thinking about their business, just being focused and, listening to music, or lots of other things could be going on. So whether a person is meditating or not meditating is actually almost impossible to assess from the outside, from just looking at a person. And meditation is something that happens in your mind, and with our mind we would be doing certain techniques, and yes, like training the mind in a certain way or utilizing the mind in a certain way, which eventually will take us to a state of meditation. And once you reach that state, that's when actually you could say, now I am meditating because I'm in that state. What kind of a state is that? Well, this is something that has been kind of defined in different traditions in different ways. But if I'm just giving you a very, let's say, a summed up version of those definitions, then we can say that meditation is a controlled expansion of the mind. There is something that happens with your mind as you become better and better in the process of meditation, where at a certain point your mind starts, first of all, to calm down the thoughts of daily life, and oh, did I pull out the ironing, machine, or did I take care of this? And all those thoughts of the daily life, they start losing their importance. They kind of start fading away from your mind, at least from the active part of your mind, and the mind becomes more and more quiet. And as the mind becomes more quiet, then from that point on, the next stage it can pursue is a stage of concentration and focus. And once that happens, from there on, the mind can continue and expand. So first, a certain quieting of the mind needs to take place, then a concentration of the mind needs to take place, and then the expansion of the mind will need to take place. And then you are in a state of meditation. These different states or steps towards meditation are very, very beautifully described in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, a book which every yogi, every spiritual aspirant, every tantric person should definitely read. When you get your hands on this book, I recommend to opt for a commented or a commentary edition. For example, commentaries by Swami Vivekananda or Swami Shivananda, those are the best to read. So Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. So a side note here, check out that book. Anyhow, so meditation is a controlled expansion of the mind, and there are different steps how to get there. Next question, okay, so there are different steps. So how do I get there? How do I actually practice meditation? If you're telling me, Lisa, that just sitting and closing my eyes and thinking good thoughts is not really it, then what is it? Well, here we come to the topic of choosing a technique of meditation. And here you are in luck, but at the same time there are some dangers in this process of choosing your technique or your preferred technique. First of all, there is a whole huge variety of different meditation techniques that come from Tantra or from other traditions like maybe Buddhism, that come from Taoism, that come from different traditions, from Raja Yoga and so on and so forth. So there is really a huge variety of meditation techniques that a person could be choosing from. My number one recommendation when you choose a meditation technique that you would like to test out and see if it fits you would be to choose a technique which comes from an authentic tradition. Either is it tantric tradition, is it something else, but a technique which is recognized by different spiritual masters throughout the history, or maybe modern spiritual giants, a technique which is written down in specific scriptures of that tradition, maybe tantric tradition. Since you are on a tantric channel, then maybe that's where you want to go. But either way, the more you emphasize on choosing a technique which is coming from tradition, it means that that particular technique has been tested through time and you can rely on it. It means it actually delivers the positive results you want to gain from your meditation practice. So, for example, when we talk about Tantra, then there is a whole group of meditations which are coming from one of the highest teachings of Tantra called Kashmiri Shaivism. There is a book, Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, which is listing 112 of such meditations, for example. So perhaps Kashmiri Shaivism meditations would be something for you. They all use energy and they use mind in a very powerful way, and the results are fairly quickly feelable and visible as well. There are other meditations in Tantra coming from the so-called Laya Yoga, where different sounds are used, such as mantras, of course. Music meditation is a powerful form of meditation coming from Tantra. If you choose the right kind of music, and that's a bit difficult as well for a beginner, but here in our school we help with that. But anyhow, you choose the right kind of music, and with meditating with the music that has the good resonance, you can again bring energy to different parts of your being, your chakras. You can reach a high state of consciousness and have that expansion of the mind that I was talking about earlier. Choosing a technique that comes from the tradition, and then you know that the time you put into it is well spent. The meditations which are more, or they are called meditations, which are coming more from modern approaches and modern adaptations, such as there are things called like dancing meditation or screaming meditation or different kinds of practices like that. They can definitely bring beneficial effects. They can help with relieving a lot of stress and emotional challenges, and they can enhance your ability to express yourself. So there are positive effects for sure, but the question with those modern techniques is that they are not really coming from any of the scriptures. Therefore, they are, let's say, in terms of validity perhaps, or assurance for you, they are not ranking as high as techniques which are coming from a tradition, let's say ancient tantric meditation techniques and so on. So here it's up to you to choose, to test out what you would like and see the effects for yourself. But generally speaking, techniques which come from a tradition, from ancient tantric scriptures, for example, are something that you can definitely rely on. When you practice those techniques, usually the teaching of those is coming from a teacher, right? In our school, in many of the teachings, courses, yoga levels, and so on, we teach a variety of meditation techniques. Along with those, we would tell you also not only how to perform the technique, but also what you can expect as a result of this technique and what result definitely should not be there. And by knowing this, it helps you to assess your own meditation performance. Like, I'm starting day one, I know approximately what I'm supposed to experience as I become more proficient in this technique, and therefore you can see your own progress from week to week and from month to month and say, oh yeah, now I realize, okay, that's what they said is supposed to happen. Indeed, I can feel it, and I can feel it stronger and stronger and so on. So it gives you a traditional technique, gives you kind of like, it lays the path out for you there. All you need to do is walk it, and you'll know that you are going and progressing in the right direction. So that definitely helps anybody starting up with a meditation practice. Next question that would come up, okay, let's say I have the right technique, and yes, I understand that meditation is an expansion of the mind, something I'm supposed to reach as a result of my practice. Then, how much should I meditate to get those results? Like, how often should I meditate? How much time should I spend on it, and so forth? Well, here there is no one formula that I can say and say, if you do this, then that fits everybody. That's not the case. But one thing that I can definitely emphasize with meditation practice is that regularity and perseverance is more important than doing a lot of it one time. So what I mean here, for example, is the following, that doing 15 minutes of meditation per day regularly, daily, from week to week to week, is going to take you much further than doing 2 hours once a week, for example, or 3 hours or 4 hours for that matter, once a week. So regularity in small steps pays off much more in the long run than jumping into big promises and big, statements, but then not having meditation stamina yet to keep up with it. So start with small steps, but often, rather than big steps and more rarely. Another thing you may be considering is when to meditate during my day. Should it be in the morning? Should it be in the evening? What is the good time? Here again is no one answer that fits everybody. You will have to make your own testing here and be like your own laboratory and see what fits your constitution the best. A lot of people find that morning meditation, even early morning meditation, serves them really well to do it, before your mind gets entangled with daily thoughts and chores and things to do and so on, and doing it as a first thing when you wake up. Sometimes it would be even good to consider that when you wake up, you don't even go to the bathroom to wash up at all. You just sit there next to your bed and you do your meditation right away, and then you start with the rest of your day. So there are certain benefits doing it early morning, but also, there is a lot of people for whom evening meditation fits more. They find that they've had a busy day and then they finalize their busy day with a kind of a calming and settling down of the mind. They kind of wrap up the day in a beautiful way, in a spiritual way, and that also prepares them to have a more relaxed and calm sleep and so on. So that's also an option. And you can meditate in the middle of the day as well. It is true, however, that there are certain hours of the day which generally, from their energetic influence, tend to be perhaps a bit more helpful towards your meditation practice. And those hours are early hours between 4 and 6 a.m. So if you want to be really maxing out the results, then maybe you have the possibility to wake up as early as that and do your meditation practice around that time. But you definitely don't have to start like this. You can do your 15 minutes, your half an hour, whatever number is it for you per day. You can do it at any point in your day as long as you do it. That's more important. One thing I want to say, if at this point there is no meditation technique that you have not yet studied with us, you have not yet learned an authentic or a traditional form of meditation technique, and you find yourself at a loss, so how could I start? Well, then if there is no technique that you know this at this point, then a recommendation or a simple thing that you can do is focus on your breathing. So you are sitting down and closing your eyes, and you simply observe your breathing without altering its pace. You breathe in, you breathe out normally, and all you do is focus on that process, and that's it. It's kind of like you are observing your own breath moving in and moving out. That could be a very good technique to start from, and doing this 10-15 minutes a day, that would take you already to a good place in time. The last thing I want to add here is, how should you be meditating in terms of how to be sitting in meditation? Two most important things. Spine needs to be straight and eyes need to be closed. Spine straight means that you could be sitting on a floor, you could be sitting next to a wall, you could be sitting on a couch, on a chair, whatever. Important thing, the spine is vertical. We don't practice meditation in a lying down position because that makes you more lethargic, more sleepy. It kind of shuts you down rather than keeping your mind alert. So therefore, spine needs to be vertical. But as you choose your position, you need to choose the kind of position which is comfortable, meaning you don't have pain in your knees, in your back, and so on. You can, grab a pillow and support your back, or put a pillow under your buttocks and so on. Just find a comfortable position while the spine is straight. The legs can be, cross-legged, can be in any position really, as long as the spine is straight. And yes, second thing, keeping the eyes closed. That is done for the simple reason that when you close your eyes, there is so much less information that your brain is processing, and you can interiorize much, much better, and you can focus and concentrate much, much better. So these are the recommendations. I'm wishing you a lot of success in your meditation practice, and let us know how it goes. And if you need any more support, write in the comments. We are happy to give more and more clarifications and teachings on this topic. Thank you so much. And please subscribe as well. We are regularly posting on our channel every week, different topics, so be here with us.